Oh, that's the World of Warcraft side now. Let me talk a little bit about my, we call first experience with Guild Wars 2. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna mention for the first time my Guild Wars 2 as my first type of in my game talk series for the first time, and let it talk about Guild Wars 2 for my first 2 weeks since I started. So basically, before no, World of Warcraft 10.2, Guardians of the Dream, I thought would 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 launch and so on. I and before no, I decided, what, I have a game talk series I'm doing now, and I've talked about MMORPGs like World of Warcraft, like Final Fantasy 14, and some other ones. And Guild Wars 2 was unfortunately missing in that for me to play. So I had a little bit homework to do, and I did. And I actually uh, I was open minded, and I just said, you know what, let's try Guild Wars 2, and I did it. It's like I see they have like free time version. I played for first 2 3 days. It was enough to let me impress. I should get the full copy, And I got myself the complete edition for €50. That consists of the main base game, and all the previous 4 expansions. And actually had a blast playing through the Guild Wars 2 since I started. I started off like the 31st of October, and it has been like barely 2 weeks since then. I started out with Noron, Mel, what's it called? Mesmer. I tried it a little bit to level 35, 34. Then I tried a little bit different characters to see if I want to keep up with him and so on. I tried the non-female elementalist. Was great. I tried the human warrior. Was also great, of course. To level 10 maximum each. And then of course tried like the necromancer to level 10. And then obviously um, I tried guardian, and I seen like, wow, guardian is not bad either. And then let's say guardian and able to play actually made me think I should try and play guardian and play through the guardian through the campaign or story campaign. And actually I did it. I mean, I've been playing the human guardian, and I managed to, not so recently, like 2 days ago, I managed to play to level 80 finally, and I did the no, all the main story campaign about my story, and all the ways all to Satan. It's the last thing I have to do. But throughout this time, I had like blast of playing Guild Wars 2. It's like I had this once before when I first tried Final Fantasy 14. After Shadowlands 9.0, I had to decide whether I should go for World of Warcraft 9.1 Corsair, or actually go for full copy of Final Fantasy 14 in summer, end of June, beginning of July, right? So, like 2 weeks before that, I tried the field version of Final Fantasy 14, and damn, it's actually also blasted me so off, and I had bought the full copy 2 weeks later instead going back to World of Warcraft 9.1 Cortia, that I did not regret not going back and actually having bought the full copies of Fantasy 14 and all the expansions all the way up to Shadowbringers. And that was the first time that opened my eyes a little bit expand to the other type of MMOs genres. I even tried, obviously, I tried Elder Scrolls Online, but it didn't kind of cut to my cup of tea. Even though it had some good things and features, but it did not. But now with Guild Wars 2, it has happened to me again. It has opened my eyes even more. It's like, wow. It's like throughout the years, if you actually stay open-minded or try things out, you actually get the things to taste, try out things, and they actually give you a surprisingly much better impression than you would usually think of. And Give those two, for now, has given me such taste to taste that left me with the impression, wow, that is really great. I mean, and and I have been now playing for the past 2 weeks, on and off. It was two, and the things I really liked about Guild Wars two, right off the bat, it was like, um, just really about your character customization. You create your character, get get to build out a little bit of your background of your character, like how you like to have your headpieces, like with a helmet or without helmet. You have your or bits of pieces dyed, and then build your little bit background story. Was it a commoner, street punk, or noble? Was it like having a you don't know about your parents, or you didn't get your sisters, or you fell asleep in a circus night, or something like this, and then obviously you get to choose Norns have their spirits, being bear, snow panthers, crows, and wolves. I took as a Norn as a raven. I have to be a raven. I like to be like wisdom, and there was one of these riddles in the starting point in the Norns where you have this or even crows type of riddles. I actually answered them almost all correctly. Where you answer the riddles for the raven type of quests or activities. That's the one I liked. And then for the humans, you have gods. You have like rich gods. I don't know all of them, but I remember two: Balthasar, the god of war, and Grenf, the god of death. So I had my human characters either be Balthazar or Grenf. My guardian, for example, is Grenf, blessed by the god of death. A little bit darker plot direction for my guardian is blessed with and blessed with whom. No? So yeah, and then next thing is like where you get to see the cutscene. You see, I've seen like my character is talking with a voice. I was like, wait a second, my character has a voice line? Damn, I haven't had this in none of my MMO experience ever. Like my character is talking the way he wants to talk. No, I mean with his own voice, And it's like, damn, it's like, what have I been playing up to or witnessing up to? It's like, I don't know how Guild Wars 2 was back in the days when it started off. No, but to my insights to how it is now, like throughout the 10 years of Guild Wars 2, the difference between the other 10, 20 years of World of Warcraft, so like a huge different type of advancement or difference. I don't say in terms of bad or good. I say just the was more for the heads of features and things that Google's have in advance ahead of, that makes World of Warcraft a little bit, you can say, underwhelming, despite it could have it as well. I could, when World of Warcraft with the voice line of this, I'm sure it could have been implemented as well for a long, long time. You know, give your little class that you create in in World of Warcraft a little bit background story as well. No, it's not a. I don't think it's a big thing to do. We can say Guild Wars 2. It was more definitely a small company, and then Blizzard it is today. You know, and they managed to do it, and they are managing to do it. And so basically, uh, I liked how the combat system is well in Guild Wars 2. It's like there's not this typical tap target and you either miss or you hit. You actually can dodge the projectiles. And you gotta invade dodge them all these things, otherwise you can kick the bucket quite fast and quite often, as I had already. I at least had like 0.8 deaths per hour. Yeah. Like almost one death per hour, almost. Yeah, and it feels like a little bit Souls-like. In, you have to dodge the attackers' attacks. Attack when you think it's right. Find the right timing. Or yeah, I mean it's. I like that. I like these things. It's a little bit. You have to use your head a little bit more. Yeah, and then uh, I like the dungeons. They're nicely done. You have a little bit story in there. They doesn't get to tell you, talk about the story, the characters, lore, lore between other characters, and the whole plot behind it. And then you get to play the story mode, and after story mode, you get the explorer mode. It's like part one to part three, I believe. That is like heroic difficulties, I think, if I reckon it right. And then obviously you have the small world bosses, or you have the small events that can lead up to massive world boss fights at the end. I've seen like I remember I did some preliminary events. There's and there, and then suddenly out of nowhere a big huge boss comes out or appears, and you're like, whoa, wait a second. I'm now have to fight this boss, and like all the other players are joining as well in that fight. And like takes, and you think it will take quickly? Nah. It will take some time to take down the world boss or a small event boss, and that was it is a great feature as well. You fight, you do some small activities, then you have the small event. You do it, you do the event, and then suddenly the event gets bigger and bigger, and then something like um, invasion, invaders, and like a boss appears that you have you have to defeat, and it doesn't go. I mean, it will take some time to defeat it because it doesn't. I mean, it's not like a um, thing you fight it in within 1 minute and the boss is done. No, the boss fights took like a couple of minutes. I mean, not maybe not half an hour, but it took definitely like 15, 20 minutes to take this one boss in the event down. No? It's quite fun. I mean, to see how the whole multiplayer online features in the MMO actually works. Yeah, that's that. And then the other thing, obviously, I also like how the dungeons, the way your roles are have been worked around. You don't have this typical tank healer TPS roles. You have this open sway type of open all round type of roles. You have tanks type of spec. You have this healers and DPS. But they all can do all the same thing. Some they can tank the damage. They can give you shields. They can give you heals. They can give you they can revive you. They can they can give you speed boost. They can we call bit of backup support of this. This I like. And the boss and the mob Argos doesn't always fixate on the one target. The mob actually can have a different random Argos. No, that's I like too. It's like not like this typical where the boss is usually Argos on one single tank or tanks throughout the whole entire boss throughout the whole fight. But the boss actually Argos or directs its Argo to different type of players, no character, and I like that. It's a little bit more. You have to be careful. And as a guardian, the one I mentioned, I have been fun playing guardian. I mean, I usually talk between we call it greatest sword of mace, but also all with a staff. But also recently, I tried to go try with one-handed mace and a shield, maybe a bit more like a tank shield or like a guardian with a shield. No, this was also quite fun. Even I was having this one mace, main hand mace and a shield. Um, I didn't feel like a tank or to be the tank role for that. I could be this one to just this character with the shield, with the mace and the shield, and provide uh, support, damage, heal this, even by being this type of loadout on as a guardian. I like that. I had fun. I had this one dungeon the days before. I don't remember what the name is. It was just basically the last two dungeons before you encountered the last one on the level 80 dungeon. Basically, where you had this Norns in the where the winter was, snow, ice. You had like all the group itself were as new like me. They had no clue about that dungeon or dungeons, and we had this period of time where we getting our butt kicked now. Yeah, they went, and we had constantly to survive this like one one mob gets pulled and the other one we just get to survive holding the choke points. Like, okay, you get up again. We then change our and then on and on. We had to play around covers, and someone died. I had died. I had to use my revival orb to get up again. Help get more revive orbs. And somehow we managed to survive it, despite all the long brawling type with multiple mobs and ads. And damn, that was a brawl, man. Brawling. That was a fight to live, to witness. And it was not a boss fight even. I think it was just a usual mob fight with your own dungeon group with 4 or 5 people. Yeah, that was something else, I must say. And those things I actually really liked. I must say. I mean, yeah, I mean, even the story progression I liked so much. I quite like a lot in Good 2. I like the lore itself is quite interesting. All the lore characters that you are meeting, have met, they don't get left behind. They eventually get, you know, they get played together. You are sticking with them together. And you're not gonna believe, but you probably had it as well. But I had, in this very short time already, as what you call an emotional moment. You know, maybe you're familiar with the war Admiral Fogo or War Master Fogo. That was quite a character. You met him like in the as a virtual, what's it called, virtual Crusaders now. And with the storyline, what was the storyline? The Battle of the Crow or something, where he sacrificed himself so we can live. That was such a that was such an emotional thing actually to see like this character giving up his soul just for us to live on and to take vengeance upon the Titan. So yeah, that's the lore in there in Guild Wars 2. And what else? Uh, uh, have I missed anything else in the Guild Wars 2 so far? I don't know. I think that's all I could tell for now as well. Like I have to do the last level 80 mission or quest line, I think, before I can finish with the main base and continue with the expansion campaign from level 80 onwards. Yeah, that's gonna do with the Guild Wars 2.